Well, here we are, folks. Here we are on this glorious Monday, the 17th of May. No, it's not because the pubs are open indoors. Maybe slightly. I was actually at a pub when this news came out. I've rushed home in time to react to the F1 2021 My Team news because the main man, we don't miss. The crystal ball season is out. Not only did we do a bit of bookiness with the Golf McLaren livery that we've had in my team now in 2020, the career mode, for like the last 3 seasons. McLaren unveil they're doing a one-off Golf livery for the Monaco Grand Prix. That's some wizardry. That's not the point of this video, though. Put that aside. What we have done is, again, we've done some more wizardry, because I tweeted at the time when we were told there were going to be some legendary cards, some legendary drivers we could sign as a teammate for my team in F1 2021. Well, I tweeted out at the time, please, can we get Jenson Button so I can sign him as my teammate? And I can say today, welcome to my F1 2021 My Team career mode teammate. I'm absolutely... I'm absolutely over the moon. This is fantastic. You guys know that have been with me with the channel for a while now. I am a massive Jenson Button fan. He's the only driver to this day I have ever truly supported in that kind of way. It's absolutely amazing for me as a JB fan to know that I can actually sign him and have him as my teammate in my team career mode. It's not just Jenson Button, so let's have a look here. Apologies for the rough nature of this video. I wasn't joking. I literally was at a pub when the press emails came through about this, and I just saw it on my phone like, oh, for frick's sake, this is the worst timing ever. It's been pouring down with rain here in London. It was hailing outside as well, so we come back, pop the hat on to fix the mess of hair after getting all wet, and we're here to react to this. So we've got JB 90 rated, 98 experience, racecraft 94, awareness 95, pace 85. I think that's fair. Jenson was never the out-and-out quickest qualifier out there. I think his racecraft really did him well, 94, and awareness 95. I think that kind of epitomizes what Jenson was about, I think, in terms of those kind of ratings. Interesting that we've not yet seen the focus stats, because they did say focus was going to be a stat, or something along that line was going to be an extra stat on this card, so they've not shown that. So maybe they're kind of saving that for the full reveal when they fully reveal all the stats for all drivers, you know, the current crop of 2021 drivers. So interesting to note they've not put that stat on the card yet, but we've got Jenson Button. Of course, we're going to have the legendary Michael Schumacher. Makes sense. They had the Michael Schumacher edition for F1 2020, so they probably already got the licensing and all the kind of model art for that. So that's 94 rated, 98 experience, 93 racecraft, awareness 92, pace 96. Blistering pace there from Michael Schumacher. Of course, he would be. Then, very nicely and very sick. To be honest, I'll say this, and I know this may be an unpopular opinion, and playing a bit of devil's advocate, but we've got, next up, we've got Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna are available in my team, which is sick, obviously, because Ayrton Senna, absolutely legend of the sport. Alain Prost as well, one of his bitter rivals. You know, 2 massive names, and we had a special edition, you know, with Senna and Prost. What was it, for F1 2019 or 18? I can't remember. Obviously, very cool. For me, though, I actually would never probably look to sign... I'll probably at least not Senna, probably not even Prost as well, just because it's so far removed from reality. I know it's weird, also the same thing, you know, having, you know, Jenson come back, or Nico Rosberg, who's also in this, but, you know, that would, you know, it's a little bit more recent, you know, Jenson left the sport, you know, 2016, Rosberg the same, you know, it's a bit more recent. For me personally, I don't think I'll ever go ahead and sign Senna. Maybe, you know, if I get bored towards the end of, like, my season, you know, 8 or 9 of my team career in 2021. Personally, though, for me, it's cool to see, very nice. I'm sure a lot of you guys, maybe that are big Senna fans, or, you know, what would want to have that would be cool. Just giving my personal preference, I probably won't be going for those, but it's really sick to have them. Like, it's mental, actually, that they've got them, because those are massive names. Like I said, Nico Rosberg is returning, which is really cool, because then you could have a nice little tetchy thing with, you know, Hamilton being on the grid, Rosberg in your team. You know, could you try and, you know, make up a little imaginary storyline for yourselves in your career mode save, whether you can try and unsettle Hamilton and Mercedes with Rosberg in your team. And of course, you know, I think a lot of people have grown to understand that we may be, you know, underestimated and undervalued Rosberg as a driver, because he's yet still the only man really in the same team that has fully undone Hamilton before. Obviously, I know Jenson got the better of Hamilton Hamilton when they were at McLaren, but that was a very different situation for Lewis, whereas, Rosberg did it, at Mercedes. So it's really cool to have him back as a driver. Great personality, obviously, right now, still in the world of motorsport. Really sick. Felipe Massa, interesting one. Yeah, I think people would enjoy that. Obviously, 2 Brazilians there, so Brazilian fans, you're probably going to really love these legend packs. And obviously, I know a lot of people really, loved Felipe as a driver, as a personality. Felipe, baby, keep the visor cool. So, David Coulthard now, interesting, strapping jaw on that photo on his card. Very, very sick. 87 rated, 91 experience, race off 91, awareness 86, salary 4 million, so cheaper, on the cheaper side. And I don't know, yeah, I've already seen a few people on Twitter being like, I can't wait to have a prime David Coulthard slapping other people around. So yeah, I mean, Coulthard was not really my era of Formula 1 that I started watching with, so he's a bit earlier than that. But those of you who did start watching it when he was like in his kind of prime days, I guess, in F1, yeah, again, it's that kind of thing. I think a lot of people will have affinity to a lot of the different drivers. Like me, I will love signing Jenson. Those of you who have, watched F1 when Coulthard was at his prime, doing bits, you'll want to sign Coulthard. Those of you who are maybe Brazilian fans, you'll love to sign Felipe, Massa, and Senna. If you're just massive F1 fans and you want to go for that, maybe not realistic, but just kind of fantasy, so, the craziest team ever, you're going to want to sign maybe Senna or Prost or Michael Schumacher, really. Of course, Schumacher, legendary one there as well to get. But that is very, very sick. And I've got to say also, the 3D models are really, really good. I know they already had, technically, I think Schumacher, they must have had Prost and Senna from before, but they've had to go and then do Rosberg, Jenson, Coulthard, and Felipe, because they did, obviously when they were in the game, at least in the case of Jenson, Rosberg, Felipe, and Rosberg, yeah, that was it. When they were in the game, obviously it was a little bit older, the 3D tech maybe wasn't as good, so it's cool to see they've redone those, and they've come out really nice, really, really nice, which gives me high hopes for Breaking Point. I think Breaking Point, the cutscenes are going to be really well done, hopefully, because from what I'm seeing right now from these 3D models, yeah, I think it's good. They've, been making Breaking Point for about 3 years, so you'd like to think maybe they've also worked on that 3D modeling for 3 years as well. So, yeah, maybe reading into it a bit too much, but yeah, I have high hopes for that, and I'm just waiting for news on that, honestly. It's been a long time. We actually were due this sort of news, or any sort of news, because it's been about 4 weeks since we got that announcement, which is a long time. I guess EA are making Codemasters string out the news a bit more, maybe, I don't know, it's like a more EA thing to maybe give a little bit less, potentially. So, yeah, we've kind of been starved for news, so glad this one came out. Let me know what you guys make of this, because clearly you can see I'm excited. And we've also got some box art as well, which will pop up on screen right now. So we've got Lewis, Verstappen, and Leclerc as the cover stars. Their reasoning behind this was the global stars. The 3 drivers have been in excellent form this season. Obviously, Hamilton aiming for a record-breaking 8th championship. Verstappen tries to best him, and it is at his best to stop him. And then Leclerc's flying for the rejuvenated Ferrari. So that's the reason why they've gone for those 3 cover stars, which I'd agree with. It makes sense. I think obviously Max and Hamilton made sense. They could have just paired those 2 together, honestly, as like the 2 title favorites, really. But I guess they wanted to get a kind of a nice 3 kind of blend. And obviously, they almost have to have a man from Ferrari on the engine cover, basically. On the art cover. You can tell I've had a pint or 2. But like I said, in terms of the full reveal of the stats, including the focus part of the extra stat we're going to get on the My Team cards, the press email here says the 2021 drivers will be revealed later into this kind of, campaign, basically. So there's a really interesting line here about the My Team, about these legendary drivers. It says the carefully crafted 3-tiered roster, which allows you to select an icon from the start of My Team game modes, features some of the greatest drivers to grace the pinnacle of motorsport. So that's it. 3-tiered roster. Obviously, they've kind of got these 7 drivers. They're different base stat levels. So they're maybe the 3 tiers, and then you can choose them from the start of My Team. Well, that means it's the lower tier you can choose, and then later on you're going to choose after. I don't know. I really hope that we could just sign who we want to sign from the get-go if like we had the correct, I don't know, like if you did certain settings or whatever. I also wouldn't be pissed off if you had to wait a little bit. Like if I had to wait a season or 2 to build up the experience in my team to go ahead and sign Jenson, I also wouldn't mind that, to be honest, as well at the same time, because I don't know, if you signed one of the icons straight away, would that maybe change your entire experience of the whole game mode for the rest of it? I don't know. Let me know what you guys make of it. Would you be signing one of these guys straight off the bat for your career mode? Would you be doing a separate career mode maybe for the icon drivers in your team. I don't know, curious. Because also, a big question to ask is, do they stick around? Because surely they stick around then in the driver market, or maybe not. Maybe that's the thing with the icons, is maybe they don't stick around the driver market. Only you can sign them. That's actually a burning question that I hope Cody's answer sooner or I actually might tweet them actually after I made this video, but that's a good question to ask, is will they stick around the driver market? That'll be a big one. But yeah, that is not a lot of news. That was it basically, but it's pretty sick. And obviously I was hyped. Like I said, I rushed home in the rain to react to this because I don't know if you can tell, I'm having a crisis. This is very sick, and I'm so glad we called it. We called the McLaren livery in our current career mode, and we called Jenson coming through, and my life is complete. I can sign Jenson Button to my team, and I can die happy. That's not true. I still have a lot to do I want to do. But anyway, guys, if you did enjoy the video, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content, and I will see you guys next time. Back to the pub.